Today we're going to make burrito muffins using our new Gloria mix. Hi there, Chef Jess here, and today in the kitchen we're making an all-time favorite here at the Academy, burrito muffins. So today we're showing you some of the new ingredients from our Central line. Today we're using Gloria. Gloria is an egg replacer analog, so we're using it to replace eggs in this recipe. So you can use it to make omelets, scrambled eggs and things like that. In addition to using our Central line product, we're also showing you how easily you can use store-bought ingredients. So we have an array of different vegetables here, beans, and one of my favorites is this burrito seasoning, which you can find all around the world, and this is going to give us tons of flavor in these muffins today. Okay, so let's go over some of the ingredients today in our burrito muffins. So as mentioned, we're using from our Central line's Gloria, the vegan egg or omelet mix. We also, because we're going to Mexico, we have some beans here. So I'm using some pinto beans, but you could use black beans or kidney beans or whatever kind of beans that you like. We also have, I'm making this recipe gluten-free, so we're using some gluten-free tortillas. So these are white corn. I also have some corn, you can use fresh corn, I'm just using canned, nice and easy. Some red or Spanish onion. We have some red peppers or capsicum. A little bit of apple cider vinegar. We have some pumpkin seeds. Over here I have some zucchini, which I have grated, and you'll see that I've got it in a sieve or a colander here. I just want that excess water to come off. And our dry mix over here, we have some tapioca flour. We also have some almond meal. I'm using a blanched almond meal, but you could use a whole almond meal, and also bicarb and baking soda. So to replace conventional eggs in this recipe today, we are using our Gloria mix. So I'm actually using half a mixture, which equivalates to about a quarter of a cup or 30 grams. And to that we are adding some oil. So I've got a bit of oil here and some water. So just those two things are going to go together. And I've just got my immersion blender here, or a stick blender. I find these nice and easy to use. And we're just going to blend that up. So once your eggs mixture is blended up, this is going to go into the refrigerator for 1 hour to hydrate. Okay, so now we're going to start preparing our vegetables. I've cut everything up. I've just got a nice hot pan here. I'm going to put a little bit of oil, any kind of oil that you like. I'm using avocado oil that our local shopping supermarket is now providing. And then to that we want to add our onions, and we're going to cook that until they start to become translucent. To our onions now that they've become translucent, I'm going to add our corn and also our red pepper. And we're going to cook this for a minute or two. So once our corn and red pepper has got a little bit of color, we are going to add our beans, and I've got pinto beans today. And to that, our trusty burrito seasoning. So in the burrito seasoning, it's just a bunch of spices, which is typically used in Mexican cuisine. In addition to that, there's also some yeast extract that's going to give us some nice meaty flavors too. And this is all vegan, guys. We've got 2 tablespoons of that going in. Okay, so now our bean, corn and red pepper mixture is all ready to go. We're going to just mix up our dry ingredients. So we have some almond meal here, some tapioca flour, some baking powder and baking soda. So we're just going to whisk all of those ingredients together. This also is a gluten-free recipe. You can of course just use traditional flour if you don't want to make it gluten-free, but we just open ourselves up to a large audience with this recipe too. So to our dry mix, we are going to put in our prepared Gloria mix, which I've had in the refrigerator for an hour. You can also store this in the fridge for several days, it's totally fine. And we're going to mix this up. Then to that we're going to add, we have some apple cider vinegar here and also our zucchini. So if it's really, really watery, you can squeeze any excess out. This one looks pretty good to me. So we're just going to pop that straight in. Now once that's all mixed up, we're going to add our beans, corn and our red pepper mixture. So with the Gloria from our Essentials line, what it's actually doing in this recipe is replacing the eggs that it would be in the traditional. So what is that going to do? It's going to be acting as a coagulator, also a binder, especially when we're talking about gluten-free, because there's no gluten in there to bind things together. In addition to that, the Gloria mix also has an eggy flavor. So it has a rich eggy flavor, it's got some nice savory notes in there as well. That's really going to add some dimension to our dish today. Now for the fun part, we're going to be making our muffin cases, but instead of using paper, we're using our tortillas. So to start off with, we're just going to put a little bit of oil in each one. So this is going to make it nice and crispy. Just a little bit of paper towel, we're going to go around. So today this is a nice quick video and recipe, and we're using store-bought tortillas. But come down to here to Mallorca or take online our International Chef program. We have a Mexican class where we actually make our own gluten-free tortillas. So come see me there. So with the tortillas, you want to make sure that you get one that fits into the muffin case that you're using. This is actually a pie tin, but I think it works quite well. So we want to use a pair of kitchen scissors, and we're just going to cut halfway to the center. And we're creating like darts. My previous career, I was a seamstress, so it kind of brings me back to those days. All right, there we go. So then we go in and we're just tucking them behind, and you'll see how it fits perfectly in. Look, there we go. So we have our own muffin case, which is edible. I know a lot of us don't have much time these days, so using some really simple ingredients that you can buy at your local grocery store makes things so much easier. And we can make things fancy too. Okay, so now we're going to portion these guys out. I'm just using an ice cream scoop, just makes it nice and easy so we know we've got the right amount in each one. So I'm going to start off with 2, I think 2 should be plenty. And lastly, for a little bit of extra protein, we're going to be adding some pumpkin seeds or pepita seeds. And this is just going to give it a lovely color as well. And they'll toast up in the oven. Alright, you chefs at home, so I've got my oven. It's already been preheated to 160 degrees. We're going to stick these in there for about 25 to 30 minutes, really depending on your size. But what we're looking for is that core temperature in the middle to be 80 degrees. But we can kind of see by looking as well. All right, so let's get these guys in. Just in the middle rack. Okay, so we just pulled these out of the oven. They were in there for about 25 minutes. We're getting some nice spring back, and I checked the temperature inside. Not necessary, but we want to make sure that it gets up to 80 degrees. So I've just popped this on a cooling rack. We're going to allow those to cool for about 10 minutes before we take those out. And then we're going to top them with some vegan guacamole and sour cream. Okay, so they've cooled down now, so we're just going to pop them on a tray. Just flip them up. And we want to just carefully turn these over and allow them to completely cool before we put our topping on. So this is our burrito muffins. I've decorated them now. We've got some vegan sour cream and guacamole. No recipe here. You can use your own or store-bought. And that was using our Gloria egg mix product from the Essentials line. Really super simple to use, and we can make so many different recipes that we usually have eggs. I don't know about you, but I'm going to give this a try now.